The US and Israel to drown Iran. Will the US and Israel drown Iran? Yes, there is a very big possibility for that. Remember, it's geopolitics and everything has to align with the new world order. And in the Middle East conflict, it has to come to an end for a given period of time. This won't be a forever solution, but it will be a solution for a given moment, a given number of years. Then it will come back to where it has always been, where Israel has always been an enemy to most of the Middle East countries. But as for now, Iran becomes the only, not just Iran, but the Islamic regime of Iran has become the only arch enemy of Israel development and expansion in the Middle East. And because of that, Israel has to find a way to completely eliminate Iran or the leadership of Iran and installing an ally president who will work with the Western and Israel instructions or under the leadership of Israel and US. We've seen a lot happening since October 7th when Hamas attacked Israel and provoked attack in Israel, and Israel went all in into Gaza, trying to completely destroy Hamas, of which they are containing the biggest part of Gaza completely destroyed. People are talking of reconstruction, and from there, Iran came into the war trying to help Hamas because Hamas has always been a proxy fighter group of Islamic regime of Iran. They came in to help, and Israel went in all out to Iran. Yes, they did a devastating attacks on Iran, and Iran did respond to Israel again. Iran did not just let it go, but they responded. But the US came in to bail out, not bait out, but okay, both words can be used, bait out and bail out. They came in to bail out Israel from the war by destroying the sinking or dropping the bunker buses that destroyed the uranium enrichment or nuclear enrichment plants in those Iranian mountains, Fordo and all those other places that they thought it was. And from that, Iran backed down and relented on attacking Israel. They had a ceasefire that has been working up to now, but a ceasefire that has not been followed by, and that was not the only way. The main objective of Israel was to completely do away with the Islamic regime or Islamic leadership led by Ali Khamenei of Iran, completely do away with that leadership. And that is what they would have fought. If they would have done that, it would have been very simple for them to know that now the remaining leadership in Iran will be easy to work with because they will be able to work with the Western governments and Israeli government to project whatever leadership and democracy that they want. And with that, everything went cold. But for most of the political analysts and geopolitical analysts would have said it was not the end. They just never wanted to go in full out because maybe Israel at that time had not enough weapons or enough defense system to protect them from the barrage of Iran missiles that were being sent in Israel, overwhelmingly in Israel, prompting the US naval ships or the US Navy to intercept some of those missiles, to help Israel intercept some of those missiles. So if the game could have continued that way, maybe we would have had a lot of devastation in Israel and Iran. And the best way to fight this war, let's go the economic way. Let's go the economic way. Destabilize the economy of Iran and let the Iranians go to the street and start protesting against their own government of the Islamic regime as a government that has failed to take care of its own people. And if the Islamic regime of Iran will start killing people as they used, okay, the buzzword is executing people they used to, then we will have more reason to come in with the human rights consent because they will be going against the human rights. And that is what is happening in Iran. This should be the 15th day or maybe the 20th day the protests have been happening in Iran. Most of the people have been killed. Some people are saying over 20,000 people have been killed in that. And the protests are still on, and that was the enough reason to why the US has to come in. Now the US is threatening to go in all out in Iran and try to destroy, and they are saying that they might go in partially, they might go in fully. And when they say going in partially, they simply mean that they will target the army that is killing the protesters, and knowing that where they are and what they are doing, that will be very simple of warning them that we know who is doing and we know where you are. And that is giving confidence to the protesters or the citizens of Iran, telling them that we know the people who are coming after you, and we have the power and authority to come for them. And that is what we have done, and just sending a message for them to stop it, or we will come in much bigger. And if they say going in all out means that the US soldiers step a foot in Iranian soil, which might be a very, very complex. So remember, Trump said that he will not lead the US into another wars, but he's going to stop most of the wars that are happening. But how can you stop a war without engaging yourself in a war? And that is what you're seeing happening now. Trump is stopping the wars as he engages himself in more wars around the world, because that's the only way you can stop the war. Because there are people on their leaders, warlords, who on the only whose only language to them is battle or war, but they cannot do everything as they are asked. And remember, Iran has the largest army, over 1 million people, over 1 million army service members. So you stepping a soil, stepping in Iran soil will mean a long war, a long-term war, and that is not what the US needs. Trump wants something that will come in so swiftly and work within a very, very, very short time, and that is why the protests are working better for the Israeli government and for the US government, and the economy will continue degrading until Khamenei says, or the people of Iran says that it's enough and enough. And even the soldiers who are loyal to Khamenei says that it's enough, because the supplies that they need for them to go to the battles are not available, and food for them to eat while on the battlefield are not available. And they'll say enough is enough and leave it for there, and maybe forging another new way for Israeli for the Iranian people. It is more expected because as per now, the rumors and whatever's happening around, most people thinking that US can attack Iran anytime. And when you talk about is US attacking Iran anytime, it doesn't mean that attacking all the places in Iran, but attacking the Islamic regime installations and military sites in Iran, just to send a warning to Khamenei, telling them that we are here. But another question that most people are asking: when will the reign of Khamenei end? Has he chosen a predecessor, someone who will take after him, or what is really happening within Iran? Those are the questions that we'll be answering in our next episode, as we talk about the rise of Khamenei, where he came from and how he became who he is in Iran, the supreme leader of Iran now. Thank you. Don't leave without subscribing. It's been your host, Alan, Middle East Conflict Updates.